Hi everyone, Teshia Maher here bringing you this week's Video Monday. Tonight I want to talk to you about my ayahuasca experience that I had 7 months ago, and I want to lead into what I'm doing tomorrow, which is kind of like the next phase, I believe, of work that I have to do with regards to the things that came up for me during my ayahuasca retreat. So 7 months ago, in case you didn't see my video about it, I did a 14-day ayahuasca retreat in Ecuador. And I had a really difficult time. A lot of emotions were drawn out of me. A lot of things that I think that I pushed away were pulled up to the surface. And basically, since leaving Ecuador and since returning to my life here in Toronto, I've been having a difficult time. A lot of things have continued to surface from that experience, and I've had a lot of anxiety, and I've been feeling all kinds of different emotions and thinking differently and looking at things very differently, and it's all been very confusing just because I haven't really been able to make any tangible sense of any of it, and that's been difficult for me. I've been trusting along or through this whole process that ultimately I'm going to understand this and it's going to be really brilliant, and I really do intuitively feel like the fact that I'm feeling all these things is very good, of course, but it hasn't made it easy. In any event, that's that. I do think that despite this difficult period I'm going through, I do think that the ayahuasca has done some big things for me in a good way. I think it is forcing me to look at things that weren't working. How I think about it at this point, 7 months later, is whatever isn't working in your life, there's something about that plant medicine that seems to magnify whatever it is that's not working. And so obviously if that happens, it's going to be incredibly uncomfortable. But sometimes we need to feel uncomfortable so that we find the strength to finally make the change. If, you put your hand in lukewarm water, you can kind of hang out there hot water, you can kind of keep it there for a second, and you don't have to remove it right away. But if you put your hand in a boiling pot, you're going to have to get out of that pot. So I hope you know what I'm trying to say with that metaphor. We can withstand a lot of discomfort, but when it gets really, really bad, that's usually when we make changes. So things that weren't working in my life, people that weren't working in my life, whatever, all of the things that weren't working have become really big, and so I've had to look at them all. And again, it's been shitty, but ultimately I trust it's going to be brilliant. Now tomorrow, and this is very important, because if you send me a message in the next 10 days, I will not get it. So please know that if you send me a message between now, so tomorrow morning, this is going to take into effect. That'll be the 21st of January. From January 21st until February 1st, I am going completely off the grid. And that means also I will have no access to my phone. I will have no access to internet at all for 10 days. So I'm going to pre-schedule some posts this evening, so you will be seeing information from me, but it won't be live information. So until February 2nd, I'm off the grid. Why? I am heading to my first 10-day Vipassana. And for those of you who don't know what Vipassana is, the word Vipassana, I thought this was interesting, so I wrote it down. The word Vipassana actually means to see things as they really are. And Vipassana is a specific form of meditation, a specific technique that people use to obviously still the mind, as you would with any type of meditation. Now, the retreat that I'm going to, it is a 10-day silent Vipassana retreat. So for 10 full days, not only do you have no access to the outside world in terms of media and, you know, the internet or whatever, but we don't even speak to each other. So no words will be passing my lips for 10 days, which is wild. And when you're in silence, you really kind of get a much clearer sense of what the heck is going on in your mind. All of a sudden, all of those voices that we all have in our head, we can really start to hear them. So it's going to be an incredibly difficult journey, from what I understand, but very can be, you know, like all this personal health, personal growth kind of work. It could also be hugely helpful. I personally am trusting that it's going to be really helpful in terms of making sense of all the things that the ayahuasca brought to the surface. So the ayahuasca, I think, kind of like reached into my body and like pulled the stuff out, and now it's been just sitting there, and I've been like, whoa, what is this? What does this mean? So now I'm kind of going into myself, and I'm really hoping to come out with more groundedness and more clarity and more understanding. So for 10 days, guys, I will miss you. I'm gonna be gone. I won't be here. But if you send me a message, I will respond as soon as I leave the retreat on February 2nd. And in the meantime, yeah, I'll make sure I schedule some cool posts for you between now and then. Yeah, so I'll do another video when I leave the Vipassana, and I'll let you know what I thought and what I felt and what I'm feeling. And yeah, I love you guys. Happy Video Monday, and thanks for listening to what I'm up to. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.